Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining this CATIA talk. Today, we are going to talk about the design of wire harnesses. And for that, I'm very happy to welcome two experts on this subject, starting with Manuel del Valle. Manuel is a CATIA champion who works as an engineer in the development of electrical products at Volvo Buses in Mexico City. Hi, Manuel.
Hello, everyone. Glad to be here.
Great. And we also have on board Axel SERY, Electrical and Fluidic Technical Manager for the CATIA brand at Dassault Systèmes. Hi, Axel.
Thank you, Anne. Hello, everyone. I'm also happy to be here with you.
Good. Well, first, Manuel, can you tell us more about your role and activities at Volvo Buses? And we would also be very happy to know your background if you wish.
Yeah, for sure. As you mentioned, I'm an electrical engineer at Volvo nowadays. I've been 4 years on this path. It is actually have been great because I have the opportunity to work on electrical systems, and at this time, they are becoming the core of every vehicle because of entertainment and the different needs that passengers have. Before that, I worked with Bombardier. Nowadays, it is called Alstom. It is part of Alstom, and I work in great projects. I've been lucky enough to participate for Metro Montreal, Metro of San Francisco. So it has been fun, and for me, it have given me a lot of experience and hopefully some knowledge I could share. And of course, I have learned a lot of different people.
Sure. Axel, I guess you might have some other questions for our guest.
Yeah, sure, plenty. Thank you. Thank you, Anne. Yeah, Manuel, a very interesting experience. Can you tell us a bit more about the electrical process at Volvo Buses, for the electrical system engineering and the harness design?
Yeah, for sure. Here in Volvo, and I think most of the companies, we follow almost the same process. First, we need to analyze the system we are going to work with. What we do mainly is to review a 3D model, and also we try to extract the way we are gonna supply energy, the signals that will be required for the proper function. After we have that, we try to make an schematic. It is an abstract way to show the information of the system and how it is gonna relay to our bus. Once we have that, we can go now to identify the connectors we are gonna use, the way that some elements like relays are gonna interact, the maybe the cables we are gonna use. When we identify that, we also have to really be precise with the connectors because it can be misselect sometimes. So it is important for us to choose the connectors, the terminals, and so. And when we have all this database, we can start to make wiring. Uh, so we can define the routes. For this, I think at least on the beginning and at this part, we actually use CATIA because it is necessary nowadays for every supplier that uh, give us a solution we integrate on the bus. We require a 3D model so we can analyze the dimensions for the attachment and, as I mentioned, the connectors. And also, it is becoming every day more important to have the routing for the harnesses defined because they interact with every system on the bus. We can affect the structure, we can affect the covers. So it is important that the aspect is always hidden and unaffected by the harnesses. So when we have that, we are ready to make some measurements and so for defining the manufacturing. That's where tools like flattening come inside, and we can. Sorry for the audio. But well, it is super key for us to have the wiring, as I mentioned. And after that, then we can go to the flattening. Sometimes the flattening can be inside the same company. Here in Volvo, we send that to a supplier. They help us with the manufacturing process, and they have their own tools. But I'm at Bombardier. I used to do that process. I use flattening every day, and it is super helpful. Because you can actually consider the angle for the bending in the harness. So the way you manufacture has a purpose for a better installation. It simplifies the time when you do that job properly. So it is very important to follow that process and to have the precision that only a 3D model can give you. Because in the past, I remember when I asked, "How did you made it?" Well, they used to do also drawings, but everything was manually measured. Everything was calc, and when we compare the way we do it now, we save a lot of time. We save a lot of money also. And well, for me, just to compare, it is actually amazing the way we can work now.
Okay, may I ask you more question? Can you remember or tell us which, so you use CATIA V5 for the digitalization, the 3D view, and the drawing preparation. What about the diagrams? You show us a bit of electrical connectivity. What is the software that you're using in this part of the process?
Here in Volvo, we use a software called Saber. It is very helpful, but the thing is, we need to get out of CATIA. It is not easy to integrate the process, so we need to make an extra step just to manually charge certain information, and then we can work.
Okay, so I see it's pretty same challenge as a common challenge as all electrical system providers. I see also the key aspect you have to manage is first the accuracy of the delivery. So going through the digitalization, connecting the electrical view and the, let's say, geometrical and mechanical view. And as well, the continuity. I understand that the different steps that you show from system till manufacturing is important to have the right continuity of information to have all together. Is there any other key challenge you'd like to mention in your process that maybe I didn't put here?
Yeah. As you mentioned, integration is key, and something that goes away from the software is when, well, here in Volvo there are three teams. One for the mechanical structure. It is called body and weight. Also, we have the team for the surfaces and the main aspect, and also certain systems like the toilet and AC system. They are called body, and we from electrical harnessing and systems, uh, who do more stuff like the radio, the TV screens. We give support to the door and other systems that actually require electrical energy to work. Um, so that's super important, because sometimes we as designers start to work alone, and that is not cool, because we can affect systems that require attention of other specialists. And if we have the tool but we don't use the experience of the teammate, well, we can affect everybody. And also for the harnesses, I think it is super key to make the first release flawless. It is really hard. I mean, I think it is not so well perceived, because many times when you are in an electrical team, everybody says, "Why do you change the harnesses so quickly and so many times?" And dude, I mean, I don't want to. It is sometimes it is necessary because the tech is gonna evolve, so we need to update the connectors, or sometimes the route need to be modified because of other change, and you need to give extra length. So uh, today, I think that's the main challenge for the harnesses, to get less reviews, to get them flawless on the first design. I think CATIA helps a lot, but also we need to find additional practices to improve on that.
Yes, sure. Yeah, the collaboration is key as well. We hear often as well on other industrial that, yeah, electrical harnesses are easy to modify, flexible, can be done late. That's not that simple. So yeah, you face the same challenges. So yeah, you told it already. I was about to ask you what's the value that CATIA brings to your process, the innovation. So yes, it's the accuracy. So it needs to look always precise in the 3D model. Maybe, okay, I think you are an happy user of CATIA Electrical, and I'm sure you're not the only one at Volvo Bus, but if there is, I see also the question from Thierry. If there is, yes, anything that should be improved, or more thing to be complete in CATIA, what would you mention? What would be your wish?
Okay, well, I think for the long run, I would love to have all the tools at hand, because I mean, I've been only in two companies, but on every company we just have a part of the cake. I mean, on Bombardier we had the flattening, and I love it, because for the manufacturing and installation process, it was lovely. But once I arrived at Volvo, I stopped having that, and I started to work with wiring and routing. And it is amazing the way you can see the design thanks to that. But now I'm missing the flattening part, because sometimes the supplier has issues and I cannot provide a little more help as a designer. So for me to have everything, it will be lovely. And secondly, just a small detail, for example, on the wiring nowadays we manually calc the diameter for the branch of the harness. So it will be cool if we just can insert, I mean, the amount of wires we are going to install, and set the diameter of every wire, and then if CATIA can help to set, okay, if you're going to group this kind of wiring, then this is the diameter for the branch.
Okay, to understand, it's a better connection between the electrical world and the mechanical world. So while you were talking, I just jump into a slide we have here. I'll try to show you quickly and to share with the audience here what we aim at having at Dassault for the future process. Well, it's just quickly, the aim is more to listen to you, but yeah, in our new generation of tool in the 3D experience platform, we have all this connected. So compared to CATIA V5, we integrate the drawing capabilities, so wiring and net diagrams connected to 3D. So that's coming to your point, Manuel, where we will have the possibility to update the 3D view thanks to this electrical view. So any change in terms of connector, part number, supplier, number of wires, diameters, all of this will be updated in 3D, as well lengths, so you can surely quickly detect and update the weight, the center of gravity, and also the manufacturing form board, as you mentioned. We improve it as well with the user interface, and it's all also thanks to the platform. I will not go into the detail here, but linked to requirements, so it's requirement-driven process. So all of this is connected together. Any change is updated, or at least can be synchronized by the user. It's the next generation with the platform, but the CATIA electrical tools are going toward the process you mentioned here. Just going back to our questions. So I can just stop sharing my screen. Up. Sorry. So maybe a few more words, one more question for you, Manuel. I could spend hours like this, but I know you are part of a CATIA community, also part of the CATIA Champion program, and I'd just like you to tell us what it means being part of such community, and if you have any anecdote to share with us about it, what you like to add here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the CATIA community for me is something amazing because actually it relates to the anecdote. I mean, a few months ago, I just wrote an email because I started to look around for some certifications, and when I asked for information about your certifications and programs. You gave me back some questions about my background and experience. Once I wrote about that, you sent me back a message of congratulations because I was become part of CATIA Champions community. For me, that was amazing because sometimes I think we don't realize that our work is cool. It's actually something others value, and I think that's the key of the community because you can see not only that your work has value, but also the great talent that is over the world and the amazing professionals and the capabilities they have. So I think that's the coolest part of this community, and that's the better part of being a champion.
Okay, well, that was not me behind the community, but I'm surely supporting technically. Now, that's great to have those community. For the certification, we are working on it to update, but yeah, those content are very interesting for the people listening to us here. Don't hesitate to dive in. It's a good opportunity for you to learn, also to share, but as well for us at Dassault to learn the needs and the industry usage. So it's a great sharing space. Thanks a lot for sharing this information, Manuel. Maybe Anne, you would like to show where to access this for the one interested. They could also have a try. On t'entend pas, Anne. I think you are still muted.
Sorry for that. Yes, thank you. So yes, as you said, Axel, it's a good place that you all can join. So how to access this CATIA user community? It's very easy. You can now see the link at the bottom left part of the screen and enter go.freedays.com/CATIA. I will show you this in a minute. So here, as you can see, there are a lot of posts in the CATIA user community, and they are from various experts, as you, Manuel, and other internal or external experts. And if we look a bit more specifically for electrical content, you can see that there are really many articles, many posts, many videos and demos here that you can find easily. So yes, this is where I invite you to continue the conversation with Manuel and Axel if you wish. And I think they will be very happy to answer your questions.
Yeah, we do have them here, so yeah.
So, by the way, I'm looking to questions that we may have.
There is one for Manuel. It's a question about simulation. What do you need to simulate in your electrical process? Can you tell us a bit more on this? I'm sure you have to simulate things. Is it electromagnetic? Is it wait and see kinematics? Plenty, I'm sure.
Yeah. I think the mechanical team works a lot harder on that field. I mean, we can also do that in the electrical side, but we don't have the license. So at the moment, I haven't used it. I use other tools to simulate because, yeah, it is important to see if the connection are okay, if the system is going to work well. And also here in Volvo, we analyze the software we use because we have a multiplex system. So there are specialists for that field also. So answering the question, simulation is super important always because it saves time, it saves money, and you can avoid to physical tests every time. And at this moment, when, for example, everybody is at home, it is key.
Okay.
I'm not sure we have more questions. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I was scrolling the thing. I don't think
Oops.
so, but yeah, you can get in connection with us later on if you need. Yes, sure, we stay in touch. No problem. And in the community as well.
Yes, exactly. And if you are not a member yet, you will have to create a free experience ID. It's very easy to, and it will allow you to access this CATIA user community. You see the link here again. You see the names of Manuel and Axel. And this is also where you can watch all replays of all CATIA talks and more. And the next one will be a CATIA Jewel talk from Daniel Pisac, I think. So stay tuned. And thank you again for attending. And bye for now.
Big thanks to Manuel for accepting to answer our questions. Bye-bye.
Sure.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you to everyone.
Thanks.